The Nation and the Patriot by William Everett, part of the Book of Patriotism, part of the Young Folks Library, Volume 18. It is the nation, not the land, which makes the patriot. If the nation degenerate, the land becomes only a monument, not a dwelling. Let the nation rouse itself, and the country may be a palace and a temple once more. But who are the men that made the nation? Are they the whole of the population, or a part only? Are they one party only among the people, which is ready perhaps to regard the other party not as countrymen, but as aliens? Is the country the men who govern her and control her destinies? The king, the nobles, the popular representatives, the delegates to whom power is transmitted when the people resign it? Once the king was the nation, with perhaps a few counselors. Patriotism meant loyalty to the sovereign. Every man who on any pretext arrayed himself against the crown was a disloyal rebel, an unpatriotic traitor, until at length God, for his own purposes, saw fit to array Charles I against the people of England, when, after years of civil war, and twice as many years of hollow peace, and 5 times as many years when discussion was stifled or put aside, the world came to recognize that loyalty to one's king and love to one's country are as different in their nature as the light of a lamp and the light of the sun. And yet, if a king understands the spirit and heart of his nation, he may lead it so truly in peace or in war that love of country shall be inseparable from devotion to the sovereign. Modern historians may load their pages as they please with revelations of the meanness, the falsehood, the waywardness of Queen Elizabeth. Yet England believed in her and loved her. And if England rose from ruin to prosperity in her reign, it was because her people trusted her. In her day, as for 2 centuries before, Scotland, where 3 different races had been welded together by Bruce to produce the most patriotic of peoples, had scarcely a true national existence, certainly nothing that men could cling to with affection and pride, because kings and commons were alike the prey of a poor, proud, selfish nobility who suffered nobody to rule, scarcely to live, but themselves, exempting themselves from the laws which they forced upon their country. An American cries out at the idea of a trusted aristocracy seeking to drag the force and affection of a nation of vassals, and calling that patriotism. Then what will he say to the patriotism of some of those lands which have made their national name ring through the world for the triumphs and the sacrifices of which it is the emblem? What was Sparta? What was Venice? What was Bern? What was Poland? Merely the fields where the most exclusive aristocracies won name and fame and wealth and territory, only to sink their unrecognized subject citizens lower every year in the scale of true nationality. Not one of these identified the nation with the people. Or does an American insist on a democracy where the entire people's voice speaks through rulers of its choosing? Does he prefer the patriotism of Athens, where 30,000 Democrats kept up an interminable feud with 10,000 conservatives, one ever plunging the city into rash expeditions, the other, as soon as its wealth gave it the upper hand, disfranchising, exiling, killing the majority of the people because it could hire stronger arms to crush superior numbers? What was the patriotism of the Italian cities when faction alternately banished faction? When Dante suffered no more than he would have inflicted had his side got the upper hand? What was the patriotism in either Greece or Italy, which confined itself to its own city, and where city enjoyed far more fighting against city than ever thinking of union to save the common race from bondage? For years, for centuries, for ages, the nations that would most eagerly repeat such sentiments as Cicero's about love of country never dreamed of using the word in any sense that a philosopher, nay, that a plain, truth-telling man, could not convict at once of meanness and contradiction. Liberty for All by William Lloyd Garrison. They tell me, liberty, that in thy name I may not plead for all the human race, that some are born to bondage and disgrace, some to a heritage of woe and shame, and some to power supreme and glorious fame. With my whole soul I spurn the doctrine base, and as an equal brotherhood embrace all people, and for all fair freedom claim. Know this, O man, whate'er thy earthly fate, God never made a tyrant nor a slave. Woe then to those who dare to desecrate his glorious image, for to all he gave eternal rights, which none may violate. And by a mighty hand the oppressed he yet shall save.